I do now. That's my new job. Nonetheless, no. Actually, I'm up a size from my wedding. I'm about to take it back down. But no, I mean, Dancing with the Stars was good. Anything you do where you're moving around, you gonna make it work. But you have to eat so much to keep your energy up. At least I did. That's the only reason why my partner Louie and I got along, because I was the only one who wasn't starving. But I actually had a nutritionist. Because sometimes it could be something wrong with you where you're deficient in a certain vitamin. I didn't have any vitamin D in my system, and certain things might keep you from losing weight. So I went to a nutritionist, had my blood tested, and then for me, at that point in time, I needed somebody. At that moment, I wasn't motivating myself, so I had to have somebody come and be like, come on, it's 6 o'clock, let's go. You know, so I had a trainer. But before that, when I lost weight, I did it by myself. I lost 50 pounds. The first time I lost weight, and I ate right, and when I used to get off of work, I would come home and I would, ladies, this will help you do more than lose weight. I used to have, yeah, me it'll help you too. Watch this. I used to come home from work and have a hula hoop contest with my kids. Because it'll bring your waist down, but then, you know, because I couldn't leave my children for 2 hours after I've been at work all day and be like, Mama, going to the gym, because they were smaller. So I had to do stuff at home that was creative and fun. So there you go. Hula hoop contest. Who could dance to this song the longest? I never won that one, but that was how I did it. Yes. I have several things I'm about to be doing now. I'm going to be able to tell you about it in a few seconds. But I can tell you that it will involve my passion, which is wanting people to be whole and wanting them to be happy and wanting them to not shy away from the very thing we were created for, which was each other. You know, and a lot of times when you've been through heartache, headache, heartbreak, I just forget it. I'm going to stay at home, take care of my kids. I'm like, oh, no. You know, so I will move in that space. And I'll tell you, I never planned on being funny. In the beginning, in my mind, all right, I was going to be Cicely Tyson. I was waiting for them to bring back, you know, to revive Miss Jane Pittman. Or bring back Roots so I could be the lead slave. You know, I could be tied to a tree and beat with some
That's me.
You know, I wanted to be a very dramatic actress. And I couldn't book. I could not book any work because people kept saying, oh, you're so funny. And I was offended by that. Because when I was growing up, being funny was not rewarded. I got pinched. I got in trouble at school. I got popped in church. Go sit in the back. Stop cutting up. Stop carrying on. So it wasn't like everybody stood around and was like, oh my God, let's watch this little girl be funny. My family was like, knock it off. Cut it out. And it wasn't until my family actually experienced several tragedies. When I was 15, I saw my mother get shot by her boyfriend. And some of you guys who watch Clean House know that my mother is still with us. Hey! I almost went in. Because she is still with us. Amen. But that was such a tragic event. You know, her boyfriend was very abusive. Easter Sunday, 1985, he got up maybe at about, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning and had a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. And he shot my mama in front of her kids like a dog in the street. After her recovery, which took a very long time, we ended up losing my brother. He was 17 years old, went to his high school. I don't know how you get in the love triangle at 17, but there it is. Played on the basketball team, no gang, no drugs, just a good boy. He was murdered at his high school. So So after she had a horrible divorce from my father, had been shot by her boyfriend, and now loses her son, my mother goes, I'm getting in the bed and I'm never getting back up. And that's what she did. And my brother was murdered the day before, I think, my 22nd or 23rd birthday. So at that age, I didn't know what to bring. You know, when someone passes, if you got money, you help with the funeral. If you could cook, you pay for the, you do the repast. I didn't know how to do none of that. I didn't have no money, I didn't know how to cook. But what I did know is that I was funny and could make my mother laugh. So when she was laying in her bed, I would go there every day. I would stand in front of the thing, tell my stories, do my acts, pop, lock, carry on, whatever I was standing over there doing. And she went from laying down in the bed to sitting up in the bed. So she said, I got my peanuts and my water. Go home and do your rendition of things. I said, oh, let me get up here. So one day I come to her house and my mother's not in the bed. We're in here. I'm like, who's we? I went around there. You know, I went across the street and got Miss Brown and Miss Sadie. I told them it was funny. Get Mama's karaoke microphone. Y'all was I stood up on the fireplace. I had to think, is this thing on? How's everybody doing in the living room? So I'm standing up there, and then I was like, well, hell, I'm up here now. So anyway, so I'm doing my thing, and it was when I was up there that I realized that comedy was a gift. And something said to me, Niecy, don't be a selfish effort. It's other people suffering. Go outside and spread it around. I was like, oh, all right. Not so. If he can kill your dream, if he can snuff out your destiny, if he can take your mind, do you follow what I'm saying? So when I laid hold to the thing, I laid hold to it at 5 years old. I knew what my destiny was going to be. I knew. And it seems like if you had walked past me on the day that I was getting out of a mental institution or still wrapped up in a straitjacket, if you look back at my life, you would say, oh, I get it. I can understand that. But I had to believe what God stamped on the canvas of my imagination more than what the devil kept bringing and kept showing up. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So moving forward in that space, I did what you normally do. When you're broken, when you've been through a lot, I ran to a man. Okay, just me. Is it just me? No. I'm just saying. Come on now. But sometimes we think they're going to make it better. If I just ain't got to be up in here by myself. And he was sundown in the morning. Can you know what I mean? Just grateful you ain't got to take out your own trash. Ain't that something? You know, and I ran to this man, and I thought he was going to make everything right. And I was like, oh, over there was the frying pan, and over here is the fire. What just happened? What just happened? So it was a very, very hard and a very, very tough road to hoe. And I remember when I separated from him at one point and filed for divorce, I had 2 children at the time. I had a beautiful house, I lost my house, I had a car, I lost everything. And I moved back into the back room at my mama's house. Now I'm back there with 2 kids, So I was laying in bed watching a pastor on TV. He was talking about tithing. And when I tell you I have a job, 2 babies, and $300 to my name. That's it, that's all, y'all. That's it. And the man said, he was talking about tithing. And he said, this is a place in the Bible. There's no other place in the Bible where God says these words, try me. Woo. Yeah. And see if I don't pour you out a blessing, you don't have room enough to receive. And I said, well, wait a minute now. Okay, now how much do I got to give? How much do I got to try? You know, I was listening. So he said, you give a 10, you give 10%, blah, 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 blah. These are the thing, the thing, the thing. So I said, well, Lord, I ain't got the $300. So you want me to give you $30? Okay, here's the thing. I had what I could get for $30 down to a science. You understand what I'm saying? 2 of the large cans of Similac. I needed a pack of onesies. I get the little pack of diapers because I couldn't afford the big pack. I already knew my whole thing. So if I give you this $30, I'm taking money out of my kids' mouth because I didn't know what to do. we gonna do that? And you know, God can handle your attitude. He really can. He can handle your angst. He can handle your fussing. He can handle all that. So, because I know because he handled mine. So I looked the man in his face. I said, look at here. Oh, Lord. Because it wasn't no need for me to come to him in a way that wasn't real. But Father, as I stretch my hand, I didn't have time for that. I was desperate. I didn't have time for that. I was too desperate. So I just said, look at here. Oh, Lord, it's me. Here's the thing. I got $30. And the man on TV said I was supposed to get you. He said it was in a book. This is a sidebar. If you hear something, go read it for yourself. That's right. So I went and I checked it out. He was right. It's in the book. I said, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on and I'm going to give you $30. I said, it also said in the book that you were the same today, yesterday, and forever. But if you don't give me my $30 back, I'm going to tell everybody who changed. You ain't the same. So, I talked strong, and my money. And I don't even know how this happened. Somebody called and said, we have a very important meeting with you at NBC. And I said, oh, okay, they wanted to have the meeting. My mother had mercy on me and bought me an old 1919 Get Out and Push. I mean, this car was the raggediest car that God ever blew life into. I mean, it was awful. So in the car, the door didn't work on one side. Everything was wrong with it, but I was grateful. Because y'all know, rubber wheels is what? Better than rubber heels. Now I got to go to this meeting. What am I going to do? Here's another sidebar, ladies. Make sure if you're going to invest in hair, get the kind that has a very long life. You got to recycle. Okay. So I went in the drawer and I pulled out the good stuff. All right, because I can't spend no money on hair. I just gave you $30. I can't do it. So my mama raised a kitchen beautician. I got in there. I clipped that hair in. I found some old outfit, but I felt brand new because I had my hair on. So I drive all the way across town. And when I pulled up to the gate, you know, NBC was so many important people coming in out of this building. So it was a Mercedes, a BMW, my bucket, and another Mercedes. So I didn't have a radio in the car, but I developed this very realistic head bob, to make people think I was in their job. That's what I was doing when I pulled up to the gate. I was shaking my shoulders. So when the guy said, who are you here to see? I was like, oh, trying to act like I was listening to radio. Oh, I'm sorry. So I went to roll the window down, and the handle fell off. Y'all don't laugh at that. There was only cracked at the top, so I had to scream out the top what I was going to see. Nonetheless, I press on. So I go in the meeting, and when I tell you, I tap dance on the Cheerio. This is who I am, this is what I know how to do, blah, 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 blah. Now, normally I don't talk finances, cause the money you make is relative to your debt. I'm giving y'all that for free too. If you make $1 million and you owe $1,000,001, you still upside down. Okay? Okay, so it's relative, but I'm only bringing it up for the point of this conversation because we got to go back to tithing, right? So in the meeting, they don't do these deals anymore. They used to give people what is called talent holds. Well, they just give you money to sit around and not take another job till they figure out what they're going to do with you. So while I was in the meeting, the woman says, why, look, what do you think? He goes, yeah, you know. I think she's going to upset. What do you do? I think, yeah, I think, okay, well then maybe we should. He goes, listen, we don't have a lot. We don't. You know, really, so sorry, but we really want to use you. So we're going to draft up the paperwork and send it on over, and we're thinking, $40,000 to hold you for the next 2 months. I just stood there very nicely, and I said, okay, but inside myself, which never worked because I was embarrassed, and I laid my hand on it. I'm still looking at them like, okay. I said, in the name of save and do and be and start to move around in the business. And I was going back and forth between that marriage, in and out and in and out. And